Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're exploring something we all live inside of but rarely think about: time. It's a concept that truly shapes cultures, beliefs, and our own experience of reality.
So let's just dive right in with a question most of us have probably never really stopped to ask ourselves. How do you picture time? Seriously, what image pops into your head? Is it like a long road stretching out in front of you? A river? Maybe a big clock? The image you have says a whole lot about how you see the world.
You know, most cultures tend to see time in one of two ways. On one hand, you have the Western view, which is often linear, like a straight line. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Events are unique, they happen once, and the focus is all on progress. On the other hand, many Eastern traditions see time as a circle, repeating over and over again like the seasons. The focus there is more on rhythm, patterns, and renewal. But then there is the Jewish conception of time, and it's a fascinating puzzle because it doesn't really fit into either of those boxes. It seems to embrace both that forward march of history and the repeating rhythm of the seasons. So, what kind of shape could possibly hold both of those ideas at once? To figure this out, let's start by looking at the fundamental rhythms of the Jewish calendar. This is really where the pieces of the puzzle start to click into place. Jewish time is built around the number 7. It's everywhere. It sets the rhythm for the week, which of course leads up to the Sabbath, that sacred day of rest, but it also shapes bigger cycles, like agricultural cycles of 7 years, where the land itself gets to rest. It's this constant, repeating pulse. And the calendar itself is this really cool hybrid. It's a mashup of two ancient ways of keeping time. It follows the moon for the months, which is a Mesopotamian influence, but it also aligns with the sun to keep the holidays locked into the right seasons, an Egyptian idea. This balancing act is a huge clue to its dual nature. It loves both cycles and straight lines. And you can really see that straight line, forward-moving part when you look at how the years are counted. At first, time was marked by huge historical events, like the Exodus from Egypt. Then, the Temple in Jerusalem became the main reference point. But eventually, in the Middle Ages, everything was standardized to start from one single moment, the creation of the world. That creates this one long, unbroken story moving forward. Okay, so we have these repeating cycles, the Sabbath, the holidays, the 7-year agricultural cycle, but we also have this clear forward direction, from creation all the way to some future redemption. So how in the world can we possibly visualize that? Well, the answer is a really powerful and elegant metaphor: the spiral. Think about walking up a spiral staircase. Every time you complete a circle, you pass right over the same spot you were before, but you're one level higher. It perfectly captures both that cyclical return and that linear climb. As the 20th century thinker Rabbi Dessler put it, the spiral means we don't just remember the past, we get to re-experience its spiritual core. Each year is a new chance to tap into the power of those original, foundational moments. So every year, the calendar brings us back around to the very same points on the circle. Passover, Rosh Hashanah, all these key moments. But here is the crucial part. We aren't the same people we were last year. We've lived, we've learned, we've grown, maybe we've messed up. Our perspective is totally different. We are moving forward and upward. We're looking down at that same point in time, but we're seeing it with new eyes, with more wisdom, with another year of experience. It's a chance to learn old lessons in a totally new way and to grow from the past without ever being trapped by it. And this whole spiral idea, it's not just some abstract theory. It is a lived reality, and it's baked right into the practice and even the language of Jewish holidays. In fact, the Hebrew word for holidays is moadim. And that word doesn't just mean vacation or celebration, it literally translates to meeting places or appointed times. I mean, what a perfect description for how they function in this spiral model of time. They are appointments on the calendar. So, Passover isn't just about remembering the escape from slavery. It's an annual meeting with the very energy of freedom itself. Shavuot is an appointment to re-experience the revelation at Mount Sinai. Each holiday is this designated time to meet with the spiritual force of a major historical event, making it real and powerful in our lives today. So why does all this matter? Well, this unique view of time profoundly shapes the Jewish understanding of history and our own place in it. It fundamentally changes how we relate to the past. It creates this really important distinction. In a simple linear model, we remember the past. It's a finished story, and we're just observers looking at it from a distance.
But in the spiral model, we're invited to relive it. The past isn't gone. It becomes, as one scholar put it, permanently reimplanted in the present. We're not just spectators. We become active participants in a story that is still unfolding. The historian Jacob Neusner made a really interesting argument about this. He said that by focusing on these recurring patterns, rabbinic thought basically transformed the Bible's linear story. Instead of just chronicling what happened, it created a framework for finding timeless meaning in those events, turning history into a source for a constant dialogue with right now. But this spiral isn't endless. It's not just going around forever. It's actually moving toward a final destination. The ultimate goal is universal redemption, a point at the very end where the upward journey of human history finally concludes, and that separation between our time and divine time just dissolves.
So this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've looked at a line, a circle, and a spiral, and each one offers a completely different way to experience life, memory, and purpose. So, if how we picture time actually shapes our world, what does your own personal timeline reveal about you?